Hello friends, welcome to our channel Google Galaxy. Today we are going to discuss the particle nature of electromagnetic radiations, or we call it as Planck's quantum theory of radiation. Basically every scientist theory has its own importance. No scientist is wrong because because all the scientists got the Nobel Prize. So we can never mark any scientist wrong. Yes, every scientist has its own opinion. Sorry. What does Planck say? Planck say that if a ray of light is coming from the sun, it is not in the form of crest or trough. It is not in the form of crest or trough, but the formation of crest and trough is told by the another scientist. No doubt this theory is correct, but as according to the Planck sir, what did Planck say? Planck say that no doubt the ray of light coming from the sun is in the form of crest and trough. It's also have a particle nature. What does Planck say? That the light coming from the sun is basically having a particle nature. That is a light coming from the bulb, lightning source, luminous source. Luminous, what does luminous means? A object which is having its own light. A ray of light coming from the sun is in the form of energy packets, is in the form of particle. These particles are having the energy packets. We call this energy packet as capital E. We called this energy packet as capital E. These packets are having energy which is in discontinuous form. What does discontinuous means? That is continuous. That is, there is no gap between the bundle of packets. It is keep on coming with the speed of light, that is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. With the speed of light of 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. These continuous in nature. How much energy these packets have? It depends upon the color of light. Each packet having an amount of energy. Depending upon the amount of energy, if it is having excess of energy, it will have a different wavelength and frequency. If it is having the lesser energy, then it will have a different frequency and the wavelength. So therefore they are having the different color. So how we can decide that the frequency of radiation? So the Planck gave the formula, that is E is energy directly proportional to frequency. That is, remember one thing, we called each packet as quanta. We also called each packet as quanta. Quanta or packet both are having the same meaning. That the amount of energy in a packet depends upon the frequency, or I can say the energy decides the frequency. The change in frequency will decide the color. Change in frequency decides color. For example, violet color is having frequency is very less frequency as compared to red. Sorry, red is having the maximum wavelength, red is having the maximum wavelength, minimum frequency. So violet is having the maximum frequency, red is having the frequency least. So what we will say, the energy of each packet is directly proportional to the frequency, and the frequency decides the color. The frequency is always inversely proportional to the wavelength, lambda. To remove this constant, we will write it as hv. H is Planck's constant. H is Planck's constant, and its value is 6.62 into 10 raised to power minus 34 joules. Remember, this value is constant. I'll give you the example. If I am having a iron rod, if I just keep on heating this iron rod, but we will found, if I just keep on hitting this iron rod, but we will found that there will be a change in color, that this iron rod undergoes the change in color. Why it is keep on changing the color? The reason behind is, with the rise in temperature, it initially becomes dull red, then it becomes more and more red as the temperature increases. The red color, after that the red color changes to yellow, then to white, finally becomes the blue at very high temperature. For example, we just heat up the blade knife on the gas stove. What we will find? We will find that with the rising temperature, the knife color is keep on changing. Why it is keep on changing the color? Because more and more heat, that is energy, is given to the knife, there will be change in frequency, and the frequency decides the color. The knife keep on observing the heat, more energy will have the more frequency, so it will decide the color. If we just further solve this equation, what we will found, we know that solving this value, we know that the velocity of light, we will represent as c, velocity of light, is equal to wavelength with the frequency. If I just, we are having the frequency, if I just place the value of frequency, if we just replace the value of frequency, but we will get the value. Remember one thing, when we understand the concept, the scientists use the mathematics to use the, when we invent the concept, the scientist use that concept in daily life with the help of mathematics. If there will be no mathematics, then there will be no usage of this concept, because we will never use this concept in daily life. So with the change in frequency, there will be a change of wavelength also. Frequency decides the color, or I can say the lambda decides the color also, because both are inversely proportional to each other. This is whole about the Planck's quantum theory of particle nature.